Hi, this is Brian Tobin for Dr. Poe's class BE 170. I'm going to be talking today about my research paper I did, which explores the relationship with water and economics. And my paper is titled Water, an Economic Perspective has a Finite Resource on Earth in the United States. And I really wanted to research in my paper the relationship between economics and water and how they play a role with each other. Because water is such an important resource here on Earth. We use it for everything from making food to shipping things. Water is in every part of our lives, not only because of the fact that we just consume it to survive, but that we need it in so many different details. So it's really fascinating. I was able to secure a lot of great research and articles and scholarly resources to kind of help me understand, why economics and water are so intermixed. So my thesis states, while we have an abundance of water here in the U.S., it is important that our mass consumption is understood and analyzed to make our water sustainable and last for future generations. So I wanted to explore how much water we're using, at what rate we're using it, and all of that, and how that really ties into our economic system. So the beginning of my paper, I really talk about the backbone of water in the U.S. economy, and talk about how the average American uses about 300 gallons of water per day, and about 30% of that being outdoor alone. And so, really, I talk about here the water consumption and usage of how much we use. Like a fact here says that by 2020, the United States would be using 3,550,000 gallons of water per day. And I talk about, kind of the rate we're going on with water consumption and usage. And in the second paragraph, I go into how we're able to have a firm grasp of our water usage and dependence, and then to explore if there's a way to make it at a rate that's sustainable for our generation and for future generations moving forward. So I said, in my paper that the challenge is switching from inefficient water usage to efficient water usage. And that's really the key. And we've already started doing that in so many ways, which is great with energy saving appliances, trying to encourage people to not use so much bottled water, for people to use less water, be more water conscious every single day in their lives, which is all great. And all those things make a difference. So we also really need to start looking at water more as a resource and not a luxury. And that's the other problem with our economy, is that we take water for granted. Every day we turn on the tap, we turn on the shower, we don't think twice about it. Where other nations, people have to walk miles to get water. It's very interesting, because here in the United States it's so different than other countries. And for our economic system to function, we need vast and vast amounts of water, really. Really, in my third and final paragraph, in the third piece to my research paper, is talking about solutions to the actual problem. So, for example, the city of Chicago, for outdoor water usage, has residents based on their neighborhoods and addresses switch off every single day, saving millions of gallons of water a year. And it's solutions like that are little things that don't make that big of a difference, but overall can reduce our water consumption at a great, great level. And that's really what my third paragraph is about also, is finding creative ways and solutions to make us more water efficient, more water conscious. It's so important that we understand that water is a finite resource. And just because the earth is covered in water doesn't mean we have unlimited fresh water and fresh drinking water to use at will. So it's really important that we kind of understand this as a nation and not just as individuals or communities or cities, even though it's great that we do, but really we need to understand it as an economic perspective. And that's really what I wanted to talk about. So really, in closing, I said that it's so important for us to be educated about what water problems we're having in our communities, towns, and as society in the United States as a whole. And to understand that we also need to reduce water consumption at a healthy level for industry as well. And that's really in our economy and not just at the household level for economic perspective. So it's really understated that being educated about this problem is very important. Then, of course, finding creative solutions, which is really what we want to do for future generations, because at the end of the day, we want our kids and grandkids and beyond that to have fresh drinking water and have access to clean water and really change our economy to be more water conscious. So, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it.